Shem in the name of God, Mashiach Yahushua. Those are the true names in the ancient Pelican Hebrew, the last Rashi, tell myself, to the elders and apostles, or Akim, or Akwaf, and I say Shalom. This is a outside lesson, number one, as of August the 19th, 2026, on this Wednesday morning. And the title of this outside lesson will be Hebrews 12 verse 16. So, I got that Hebrews. Wanted to talk about Esau. And Shalom to the Aqua sister. Hey, peace and blessings for your household. And I say good morning to you. So you can tell Hebrews 12 chapter, speaking about Esau. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 16. It says, Hebrews 12 verse 16. It says, least there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. It says, for one also we sold his birthright. Right, so Esau sold his birthright unto his brother Jacob. His heavenly father hated Esau and laid his mouth to the waste for the dragons. And this is book of Romans 9 and verse 13. Got Romans 9 and verse 13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Right, so heavenly father loved Jacob, he hates Esau. This is the book of Malachi. This book of Malachi, chapter 1, and verse 4. It's Esau sold his birthright, and then Esau had a retribution to his brother Jacob. And Esau was blessed with the sword. He been using that sword unjustly against all the nations, and definitely good against his brother Jacob. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, and verse 1. It says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. Malachi 1 verse 2, it says, I have loved you, saith Yahweh. It says, yet you say, when thou hast loved us, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh, yeah, I love Jacob. It says, Malachi 1 verse 3, it says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage wait for the dragons and other wilderness. Malachi 1 verse 4, when Edom said, we are impoverished, but we return to build in desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh folks, and they shall build, but I will build it down. They shall call them the border of wickedness. Right, so that the fathers called Esau the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever. Right, so Esau is that profane person. He studied any fornication. Esau was sold his birthright, so he gave his birthright unto Jacob. That's why the Most High chose Esau. He gave Jacob. That's why the Heavenly Father chose Jacob. He hated Esau in 10 years. You have Genesis 25 and verse. Genesis 25 verse 30. It says, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, that same red pottage I'm faint. Therefore, what's his name called Edom, Idonia, Shashway, where's he? Genesis 25 verse 31. It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Genesis 25 verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to Yahweh, and will promise his birthright to me. Verse 33, it says, and Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Genesis 25 verse 34, and then Jacob gave Esau. It says, then Jacob gave Esau a ring of red pottage of lentils, and he did eat it and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Right, so Esau despised his birthright. He said, any fornicator named Esau. So the more he sold his birthright. So with that, this was just a quick outside lesson I wanted to bring out of Hebrews 12 16. Speaking about Esau as being a profane person. At least that be any fornicator, a profane person. Esau doing a lot of evilness and wickedness, racial critics among all the nations, and definitely towards his brother Jacob. Instead of Zechariah 11 verse 5, who possesses that rules themselves not guilty, Esau still got that unrighteous prepared retribution to his brother Jacob. So at least that be any fornication or profane person, Esau, and more so he serves his birthright. So with that, all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Wakadash, and the Heavenly Father, which your name is Yahweh, and His Son, we got the Son, Bahashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, who's the true name of the ancient Pelican. I'm Pastor with the tongue, I said, to the elders and the apostles from Hakim, Wahakwa. Until next time, I'm going to say, Komesh Rala, and the Ball, and Shalom.